doing well. This is the Friday roundup just to talk about what's been going on and see how y'all are feeling. So let's check in because things have been wonky beyond belief like all week long. Hold on, I gotta log into my TikTok so that I can see things. Um, yeah. All right, we're good. We're golden. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. I know that this week has been extremely challenging from a time perspective. I just made a video about it, but from a news perspective, there's a lot going on. And if you have been sort of feeling like you're pushing a boulder up a hill to get things done, there are actual reasons behind that. It's not just you, it's pretty much everybody. So I want to talk about that too, and just all the way around, like everything going on. It's been crazy. Like this week has been crazy, but today it's been crazy too. I'm trying to like get some moisture into my skin. Um, I don't know about you guys. Like I did a video about how wonky time has been, and every day it seems like it's getting more weird. Like the time thing, it's compressing. And I have not checked the Schumann frequencies. I know they've been going off the rails. I just have not had time. Um, I do know just from what Spirit's been telling me that time is definitely compressing. So it does feel kind of funky. Um, and it's like we're going through these weird little time warps. That's what it feels like. All I keep thinking is that song from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's do the time warp again, because it feels like that. And I know I'm not alone because I've talked to several people, young and old, that are just like, what is going on with the whole time thing? Mr. Jeff, how are you, friend? So weird. Everything's on a delay as far as like seeing you guys come on. I'm glad you're commenting. I hope you're feeling well, my friend. Who else is watching? Let me know in the comments whether you're on TikTok or you're on YouTube or Facebook. Say hello so I know that you can hear me okay, you can see okay. I've been working on mad projects all week, and then I had to take a break and reshuffle some things in one of my projects, my final project in a 3 sort of piece project. It's a big project. Um, I and yeah, had to rework stuff. Like, and I was looking at the astrology and I'm like, "Oh, oh, I get it." The energy right now is very like time it feels compressed, and it is. Energy overall feels compressed, like it just feels like we're not free to sort of move forward, move on, get things done at the normal pace we normally would. I don't know about you guys, I've had a ton of tech issues. Unfortunately, I had the entire season 1 of my podcast was on this cute little terabyte, 1 terabyte backup drive that I kind of flip flop between my big computer and my laptop. I had saved all of the episodes because I was editing them at night in my room on my laptop. And then I typically will upload it from my big computer once I've done all the edits. And that drive died, or it's corrupt or something. But I've also had, and I don't know if you guys check this with your stuff, I've had several attacks to my network, our Wi-Fi network, and um since the last I was not updating Windows because the last several updates were really messed up and were messing up with my computer. So I paused updates. Nothing would load. Nothing would load until I did the updates. And I thought, okay, then it found my drive, but now it's saying that there's something wrong with my drive. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe you. Like, I don't know if I believe that that drive is corrupt or you're just being a jerk, Microsoft. So, I spent a good part of today moving all of my emails around and putting them into a new Gmail account because I'm tired of Microsoft products all the way around. It's one thing that you have to have a Windows computer and Microsoft OS, but every update that they have done in the last several months has been a mess. Have you guys seen that? Like, are you experiencing that? Because I watch a lot of tech people and they're saying these updates coming through are a mess. They're a security mess. They're just a mess. Good evening, Justice for Owners on YouTube. How are you? I hope you're doing good. So, yeah, it today's been the strangest day, I think, for the entirety of the week. Um, Time today was noticeably different, like noticeably different. The last update made me lose all of my passwords on Microsoft. Girl, it's messing with my hardware. I'm not happy with the Microsoft OS. Like, I don't know what they're doing or who they're having update their system if they're using AI, but somebody's messing up the code because things are just junk right now. And I'm questioning moving to Linux, but then I saw that they are trying to get rid of Linux because they want to spy on all of us. That's the way it comes down. I mean, I disabled my OneDrive, my Microsoft OneDrive, because it just saves everything to the cloud. And I'm like, y'all don't need to be knowing what I'm typing on every single thing. You're laughing at what I posted. Oh, the Jimmy Kimmel thing. That was funny. I had to post that. I downloaded it off TikTok and posted it because it was so funny. I was rolling. Yeah, the full moon was on the 6th, I believe, if I remember right. But the 6th right now, I'm looking at my calendar above my desk, and I look and I'm like, the 6th was on Wednesday. However, the energy just feels so weird. Tell me on TikTok, you guys feeling it? Are you feeling this trippy compression of time? Are you feeling out of whack? Because today was the worst. Like today, I literally, um, it was like 4 o'clock, quarter to four. I was sitting outside my dozer. I broke my bug lamp, or my bug lamp broke. So my dad was trying to fix it. He always looks for projects. So I'm like, I can just buy another one. He's, no, we're gonna fix it. So he fixed it. And then I went in the house to get some water and go to the bathroom. And I look at the clock and it's 4 o'clock. And I'm like, there is no way. Like, I've been working since 7 this morning. So you would think that I would be tired. I'm not that like recovered from all of the chemo and all of that. So the fact that I've been working since 7, did a biomagnetism client at 10 a.m. my time. It's now 4 o'clock and I've gotten so much done. Like, I don't know if you guys are on my mailing list. I sent an email, I wrote a blog, I posted on Substack, I sent out a carousel on Instagram and Facebook. Like, I did a lot of stuff today. And I made a video on TikTok. But like all of that being said, I looked at the clock at 4 and I'm like, it should only be like 1 o'clock noon. And I'm looking at the sky at 5 and I'm like, the sky looks like it's 11. Now we have had overcast skies for days. Here in Texas, it's been in the 60s, which for May is very unseasonable. So climate is changing, time is changing, the economy is changing, the job market's like everything's changing. So, but then, and y'all know I full into astrology. So I've been checking my transits because I'm trying to get aligned to when things should be launched, when I need to be doing stuff. And literally my chart specifically says like this time we're in right now, it's highly energetically pressurized for everybody, but specific areas in my chart where it's hitting is in getting stuff done and launched. Like, I'm not in a "you should release it to the world" period. I'm in a work on it period, but the work is like I am redoing things no less than, and it's happened for the last month 3 times. Like, the blueprint quiz or the archetype quiz I just released for free, your income archetype, that I redid 3 times, 3 times. The blueprint I redid 3 times, and now I'm working on the final leg of that, which is my architecture foundations for people who are starting businesses. I'm on the 3.5 iteration, like, I'm halfway through a 4th iteration and update. I am a little bit of a perfectionist, but only a little. Like, I'm a Sag, you know? Like, I'm good at moving fast, but for whatever reason, I've become super anal in the last month. Part of that, I think, is because my brain is coming back online after not having access to it, like not being able to think clearly, not being able to think in a linear fashion, in a whole big picture fashion, and then put things together quickly. My brain has been gone since April 2024 and starting, cancer treatment. But even before that, in 2022, I started to get sick and my thinking started to slow down. And if you've had cancer, y'all know what I'm talking about. Or if you've had chronic illness, you know what I'm talking about. There's this moment where that's when you started getting sick. You couldn't think straight. Your energy dropped. You're getting tired all the time at the same time of the day. Like, been there, done that. It's taken me almost a year. It took me about a little over a year to get my brain back, and detox enough of the toxins from chemo, from radiation to bring my brain back online. And it is now starting to come back online, like almost normal, not quite 100%, way better than it's been in probably 3 or 4 years. Um, and I'm grateful for that, but it's just been, oh my God, what is happening? Because as sharp as I am right now, I've got this energy that feels like I'm pushing against this invisible force, and there's nothing you can do but keep pushing. I looked at the clock the other day. Hold on, let me see this. I looked at the clock the other day and it was one time, looked again. I was hours off. That's what I'm saying. It's like time warp. It's like time loop. I don't even know. I don't even know how to explain it because it is the weirdest thing. Weirdest thing. It's cold in New York. The gas here in our little town jumped from 4.65 to 5.05 a gallon today. Oh my gosh, Jeff. I'm going on a road trip to New York in June and then coming home and having to go back in July. Um, Way cheaper than flying for 3 people. Well, actually, there's gonna be 4 of us all together who are traveling the 2 legs, but 3 going there, me coming back, me and my son-in-law going there, and then all of us coming back. Um, Plus the little touristy stuff that we're gonna end up doing when I visit Bella and my foster daughter in Virginia before we actually get to NYC. Literally, I'm calculating, and from when we first started to plan this trip at the end of February, when my granddaughter got accepted to American Ballet Theater intensive, to now, the cost, the like estimation just for gas, just gas, the cost has gone from it costing me about $800 for both legs because I have a hybrid and I get like 38 to 40 miles per gallon, like really good gas mileage, to now being well over 1,200 to 1,500. And that's guessing at what gas, because Virginia, the gas prices in some places are well over $6. And then you got to worry about all these other places along the highway, and then we're taking certain routes because my daughter said, "There's a serial killer on the loose on Highway 40." She's like, "We're not going that way, and you can't go home that way." And I'm like, "Oh my god." There's so many factors happening right now. And she asked me the other day, she goes, "Should we cancel?" And I'm like, "You lose all that money for your Airbnb and Addie's Ballet Academy." I'm like, "If she turns this down, they will never, ever take her back." Like, it doesn't matter how many times she auditions again. The fact that she got in her first year of formal ballet training is so incredibly good for a 13-year-old. They see talent in her. I don't want her to miss this. And her astrology chart says this is going to change her life, the trajectory of her life. Like, she's going to grow. She's obviously in puberty at 13 years old. This changes her life. So, grandma, of course, is like, I'm going to move heaven and earth to get her there and make them feel safe, and then bring them home in my little hybrid. And they're like, "Your car is so small compared to our Pilot." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but mine gets way better gas mileage, so do the math. Do the math." I mean, if y'all have to take your Pilot, that means I'm driving your Pilot home, and I'm not so keen on driving that big ol' thing. I like my little car. I like my little SUV. But so for those of you who have graduations to attend in the next few weeks or months, um, and you're worried because you can't afford to fly, because airline tickets have tripled since we were trying to decide, right? There's no great Amtrak deal to go from San Antonio all the way to Virginia. You have to make all these changes because I was like, we could get a sleeper car, right? And then none of us are burnt out. We can't stop to visit places. I kind of want to see New Orleans. I've never been there. My friend who lives in a suburb outside New York filled her car yesterday. Paid almost $8 a gallon. I know. I'm telling you, some parts are crazy. Turbo, what's up, my friend? How are you? Well, I'm shocked to see you on my stream. It's good to see you. So, are you guys changing your summer plans? I've changed so many plans and delayed so many things. Andy and I Andy decided he wanted to join me on walking the Camino de Santiago, which I have talked about for years. Remember, I did podcasts on it back in 17, 18. I did podcasts on it. I talked a lot about it, and then I got sick and moved. I moved, then I got sick. And now I'm recovered. I thought I'm going to go walk the Camino as a declaration of I'm healthy and let's go, right? You're doing well, you're working. Good for you. I hope you get lots of money tonight. That's a huge deal. Great. It is a great opportunity for her. She can't miss it. But so we're not going to the Camino for a number of reasons. And that change started to get wonky in 2025 when we had all of the frozen raids, right? We started talking. I'm like, I don't feel good about leaving the country and coming back, even though I just renewed my passport. Thank God I did it then because the new passports, no, just no. Anywho, so we put it off. And then just a few weeks ago, I told him, like, that's off the table till after 2028. Leaving the country right now for anything is off the table till 2028. And there's a few places, like, I got the travel bug. My Sagittarius travel bug has hit. I want to go places. Like, I want to go to China and visit and tour. I want to go to Japan. I want to go do the Camino de Santiago from Spain to France. Part of it I'm going to do. We already agreed we're going to do on horseback because I don't want to walk the whole thing, but I do want to go on that pilgrimage. And I want to go back to Hawaii. My dad really wanted to go to Hawaii in October for his 85th birthday and be there and go see his parents' graves. My grandma and grandpa are buried next to each other, and go see his brother's grave, the one who died in Oklahoma City bombing. Like, there's so many things. So I'm going on this trip in June, road trip now, then going back in July. And then we were supposed to go in October. I said I would go with him. He doesn't want to travel by himself, even though he's got discount airline tickets because he retired from Alaska Airlines. He's like, I don't want to travel by myself. But now he doesn't even want to go to Hawaii because of everything that happened. And because the prices are so high. I'm 90 miles north of NYC and it was over $5 for premium. Yeah, I've heard from a couple of my clients in Virginia that there are gas stations charging well over 6, close to 7. So it and then my cousin in LA was telling me gas is they're gouging, right? So I gotta go. Like I'm taking Addie regardless of what happens. It's just gonna tap my savings account a lot more than we were hoping. We were doing a fundraiser. It's still open, but we really haven't been pushing it because Brindy doesn't like to share my granddaughter's photo or videos online. When you have had SA in your life at a young age, you as a parent, you become very, very hyper protective, and I completely understand. And she's like, I just don't want people getting all up in her business and then knowing, all these things that are strangers. And I'm like, no, I get it. So, to the few of you who did donate, you have no idea how appreciative we are. Um, Addie's just, Addie's in burnout right now too. And she has her spring recital tomorrow. Dancers, ballet dancers, the dancing world in general, because the same thing happened when she was just doing like regular ballet and lyrical dancing and jazz and tap and acro. At the end of the season, she just burns out, right? She's in burnout. Like she's having, and the last week or so, tell me in the comments if this is true for you. Everyone's been hyper emotional. Did a video about that too. And there's a reason. The energy's just set that way all the way through the middle to the latter part of May. It's set that way for a reason. We can talk about that if you guys have questions. But so you add the emotions on top of physical burnout and stress and pressure. And then she knows New York is a month away, like little over a month away. And she's afraid, like, you guys wanna talk imposter syndrome? Even 13-year-old dancers get it. Like, she's thinking she's not good enough. I'm like, "You have to audition to go to this intensive. They don't take every kid. Hundreds of kids auditioned. You made it in." Like, they see something in you, and the Misty Copeland, that was her story. Do you guys know who Misty Copeland is? Famous ballerina. And at 13, she got accepted into ABT and it changed her entire career. And now she is a very well-known ballerina. And I think the first Black ballerina that like made it as high as she has with international fame. So I'm super excited for Miss Addie. I think she has to do it, right? So gas prices or not, all of us adults are moving mountains for that kid right now. And no one ever did it for me. And I did a lot for my girls as a single mom. But, you know, I was going through a lot when Brindy was in dance and she did point and ballet ballet. Bella was in dance, but she really decided she wanted to do ice skating later. I did what I could. And where we live did not have the opportunities for dance the way Texas and Seattle do. And she's at a very like one of the best or better schools here in Texas. And all the dancers that come out of this school, this academy, tend to end up professional dancers. So, gotta keep her there, right? And then her teachers were like, "You have to go to ABT. You can't turn it down. They will not bring you back. Like, they won't make another offer. If you sign up and then you don't show," which happened to a girl in her school, her studio. She got accepted to ABT, and at the last minute, she didn't wanna go. She was afraid to be in New York away from her family, blah, 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 and she didn't get back. She didn't get asked back, and she auditioned multiple times. So, I say she needs to go. Her astrology says she needs to go, and all of us adults are pulling every last bit of whatever we can to get her there, right? And some people might think, like, I had quite a few conversations with Spirit about it. I'm like, "Is this just too much right now? Like, are we just pushing?" Spirit's like, "Don't limit this kid." Like, she's a born natural dancer, and she has this presence that's unbelievable. Um, Anywho, so she's been super emotional and having meltdowns, and we're all watching her going, "Oh, this energy's tough. It's tough. Hang in there. It's gonna pass. Give it another week." So any of you who've been going through the emotional, like you're hyper emotional, you're wanting to cry a lot, you're more triggered or angry or frustrated or whatever it is right now, that is just part of what's going on. Like that is part of this energy, and you need to use it for what it's doing in your life, whether that's, and I just had a client I talked to yesterday, I think. I don't know because I can't keep track of the days, who we talked about this. A lot of people are potentially leaving your life right now. You're recognizing things about who's in your inner circle and outer circle, who should be there and who should not. You're seeing things about your lack of boundaries. You're seeing things where you actually need to work on and grow. All of that's happening. All of that's happening at the same time. And there is no way around it. The people who do not face the stuff that's coming up right now in the way of you need to change, you need to grow, you need to cut, you need to set up more boundaries. Like anyone who's not working on themselves right now, June 2nd, when Jupiter hits exaltation in Cancer, are not going to get the reward. The ones that are doing the work right now, come June, the universe shines upon you in a great and wonderful way, and things will start to line up for you again if it's been hard. So please hang in there. I know it's not easy. Trust me. I keep having to redo stuff, and I'm like, what is going on right now? I don't get it. I don't understand. Why does it have to be so hard? And I'm not emotional, but it's been crazy. My hair is, I just realized how, like, looking in the camera, how much my hair has grown in the last couple of weeks. I started taking collagen supplement again and a bunch of other new supplements the last couple of months. And suddenly my hair has decided it's happy and it's growing, which is not bad considering I was bald up until what, September was my last, September 20, wait, no. Yeah, September 24 was my last chemo. The end of December was my last radiation, and then September was when I had surgery, 25. So it's been over a year. That's a lot of hair growth for over a year, and I've had it cut. It's what happens when you have to look at yourself in the freaking camera. Even though I've been emotional, there have been a few brief moments of breakthroughs, and that's what I'm telling everybody. Like, the emotions are going to give way to breakthroughs, insights, revelations that create massive amounts of growth in the upcoming months. Now, remember what I said about the people not working on themselves right now are going to have to pay the karmic bill, basically. Like, that's what this all means. And we're going to watch it, and we are watching it if you know what to pay attention to on the world stage. So there are leaders right now, not going to mention any names. There are some world leaders right now who are under massive scrutiny. They've been caught up in scandals, corruption, lies, mental decline, and more than just the one that y'all are probably thinking of. Like there's multiple people that the microscope and the spotlight is on them and they're not changing. So what ends up happening when the energy starts to settle and move in to Jupiter moves in to Cancer, which rules emotions in June, is they start to topple. Before even we hit June, I think we're going to see a lot of people topple. But from the standpoint of karma being due, that bill's due and it's coming like you're not going to be able to outrun it. Just said that to someone stuck in the storm, tornado, hurricane, but I said to hang in there, just go through it. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Justice for Honors. I appreciate it. So I'm just here. I hope you guys are encouraged. I hope knowing that you're not the only one going through the storms right now, the frustrations, the challenges, the uncertainty. And there's a lot of uncertainty. And I've been saying this for months, and I'm going to say it again on a Friday night because it needs to be said. I know how much they have flooded the zone with misinformation, with propaganda, with the whole saying fake news and all the legislative and executive orders coming at us constantly that want to strip us of our voting rights, strip us of our autonomy, strip us of our free speech. For women and anyone who's not of the billionaire class, they just want to box us in, and it becomes very overwhelming. But if you ignore, not ignore, I don't want to say that because we can't ignore it, and Spirit's made that very clear to me. If you do not make all the stuff they're doing mean so much and you focus on what can I do right now to shift me, to change me, to make the outside world begin to reflect back the world I want to live in and be a part of, it will shift and change things. Aside from karma will be on your side, right? Does that make sense? It's got to happen. Um uh Hold on. I'm trying to format a document right now. It got all messed up with my formatting. I'm not doing it. I'm making Copilot do it because since they stuck it on my computer in my office products, why not use it? Anywho, so what do you guys have going on? What's up with you? How you feeling? Do you have questions? Do you have things you want me to address, ask Spirit about, talk about? Um, I just posted a bunch of stuff up today about the job market, and Spirit keeps telling me, literally, and I've been working with clients now for a few months that are making the transition out of salaried positions and into working for themselves, and they're scared. People are scared. If you've never been self-employed, it's a little scary, but for someone who took the leap over 30 years ago, I can tell you it's well worth it. How do we cope in the next few months? Do your inner work. What's coming up for you? And don't like you got to force yourself. I'm going to tell all of you this. Y'all listening? Type yes in the comments if you're paying attention to what I'm going to say next. Because this is the most important part. And it is not the easiest part, but it is the most important part. Anywhere that you recognize you've locked into certain routines, certain thought patterns, certain behaviors, daily, weekly rhythms that you don't think about. You just kind of you muddle through, right? Catch them, Write them down. Work on breaking them. We have to change our familiar, our routines, the things that are so ingrained in a default kinda autopilot way. We have to break those right now. That is what is being demanded for several reasons. Let's see if you guys can guess why the universe would want us to do that. Y'all are smart. I know you are. So I don't want to always give you the answers. I want you to tell me, why do you think that we're all being pushed to break routines, pay attention to where we're in on autopilot, or just tuned out and just doing the same thing day after day after day, thinking the same thing, saying the same thing, not anything new? Why do you think the universe would have us there? Because there is a reason. Tell me in the comments. I'll wait. I'll wait. Stop licking your feet. Stop licking your feet. Milo's licking his feet. Why do you think? Why do you think? So you are receptive. Hey, Dennis, to new information. That's one of the reasons. Yep. So you're receptive to new information. That's a good one. That's one. There's several reasons right now. Think bigger and broader too. Think like big picture. Think Earth. Think life. Think humanity. Think galactic, cosmic. Think all of that to prepare us for the bigger storm. It isn't to prepare us for the bigger storm per se. Maybe that's part of it. Hold on. Let me explain what they're trying to tell me. There are bigger storms and more storms coming, but that's not why they want us to break out of routines. They literally, those of us who are paying attention, who are seeing what's happening, feeling it, paying attention to the impulses and insights, and even tuning into information like this, right? Y'all, whether or not you see yourself as a leader, you are on the leading edge. Therefore, you become a leader, whether that's a thought leader, uh, I don't want to say rebel, but revolutionary is the right word. You become a revolutionary from wherever you are, and that energy begins to ripple. Exactly, justice for owners. The systems, the paradigms, they're changing, but they can't change on their own. You know, people wait for God to fix it, for the universe to come in and wave a magic wand, and it's all better. No consequences due, no karma bill coming. That's not the way reality works. And if you understand universal law, you should know that. But there's a lot of people that are like, oh, God will take care of it. No, God can't take care of it. God doesn't interfere with free will. We have free will. And when the majority of people are tuned into only what's good for them and they don't care about anyone else or anything else or any other beings, including the earth, then something gets pushed and we need to change. Climate is not changing on its own because it's only cyclical. Yes, there are cycles that affect the climate, and we're in and have been in a weird cycle. The Kali Yuga talks about it, right? Um, yeah, talks about it. Different ancient texts speak about the cyclical nature on the planet and life. Civilizations are built, they collapse, they fall. We dig them up 10,000 years later and go, we didn't know about this one. Yeah, because when it fell, the history got erased. And then in some cases, we purposely erased history because we didn't like the inconvenience of what we created on the planet or with other human beings. So all of these things that we're being asked to pay attention to now and to shift and change is so that we stop falling into mindless, unconscious behaviors, emotions, actions. This is in order for uh-oh, it just said I lost my connection. Am I back? In order for us to shift and change things, we literally have to be the change. There has to be a certain number of people that begin to shift their lives, shift their minds, shift their hearts, shift their routines, shift their behaviors. And then it's like I've talked about for years. You guys have heard me say this. Then it's the 100th monkey theory. All of a sudden, other people just pick it up and start to shift and change as well. So that's why we're going through it. It isn't, yes, there's storms coming. You'll be more prepared for those storms if you are on it and on your own minds, like thought processes. If you're in touch with how you typically behave, right? And believe, and even our beliefs are being tested. Tell me that that's not true for you. Everybody's beliefs are getting pushed right now, right? Everyone's. I've said for years I would not die for my beliefs because my beliefs are probably most of them wrong. And I wish more people would understand that about the shit they believe. Like, I don't take my beliefs all that serious anymore, in that I know that many of my beliefs were programmed before I even knew what was true. And I've had my belief system washed away so many times in what people call a dark night of the soul or a spiritual awakening or a period of depression or trauma, right? So you shift and you change, and you have to be flexible and adaptable enough to shift your belief system and not just be imprisoned by it. So many people are so imprisoned. You're here. It glitched for a nanosecond. I know it said it dropped the connection. Um, Anywho, is 13 to 12. So yeah, new information. There is going to be a lot of new information coming through. There has been new information. I just don't think many people are tuned in enough on a consistent basis that they're getting the information. I'm not saying everybody. Like, you might be one of them that's been receiving new information, and if you are, let us know, because hell, that's super cool. Um, there's a few of us, right? The disclosure thing is kind of an interesting deal. The whole alien disclosure thing, and then bringing a bunch of religious leaders in to talk about it. Do you guys know why they're so afraid to bring the whole alien deal into the light? Do you know who's most afraid? Because the government's like, "Ah, it's gonna blow people." Like, they've been hiding it for years. So why now? You guys know, like, who's most afraid of that information coming out and why? I'm curious if you guys know. I have my thoughts on it. I know what spirits told me. Um, so little Mr. Milo sitting back there. Oh, I've been this chair is just not my friend today. So yeah. Do you know why they're so kind of not wanting to talk to us, but let us know all of the stuff they know? Because I know a big part of it, and why they brought religious leaders together to kind of give them pre-disclosure Do you guys think people are gonna lose their minds once they know the truth that aliens exist and the alien technology exists? Hi, buddy. Hi. You guys wanna see my friend? See if I can oh, look. Oh, that was really rude, Milo. That was nasty, buddy. So tell me in the comments, what do you know? What do you think? Why do you think they're afraid of us knowing about alien disclosure? Why has it been such a big deal? Why do the religious folks need to know ahead of everybody else? I want to know what you guys think. What do you think's gonna be revealed that's gonna shake people to the foundation and make them lose their minds? So much so they just want to hide it. They just want to bury it. Y'all aren't no you have no ideas? Come on, you guys. I want to exchange ideas with you. I don't want to just talk like ha- have a conversation with me in the chat. Just curious. The government meant to control us. Aliens walked among they've walked centuries, I think, from the beginning of time, honestly. But if you think about because look, remember, before Rome, whether it's the Egyptians or pyramids in Mexico or all these other places, Peru, Brazil, even places in the Grand Canyon that they've uncovered. What's the significance? First, that they're real. Second, that they're running the world. There's that, Dennis. But think about like how how many of the writings on the walls, the drawings, I know he's just funny. Um, the petroglyphs showed aliens. So before the Romans, before Christianity, the indigenous people knew. The Navajos have stories about it, right? Like long many tribes, whether they're Indian tribes or the what is the name of that tribe in Africa? It starts with a D. It's like Dojo tribe. They've got like ancient stories about aliens and beings from other places, but the Navajos absolutely Dogon, that's what it is. Thank you, Mr. Dennis. They've got stories about it, right? Yes. That's exactly what it is, Miss Justice for Owners. Like that the thing they're most afraid of is they lose that religious control because now we're not talking about a Christian God anymore. We're not just talking about like a man who hung on the cross and that's the end of it. We're talking about the source energy. And what have they been calling demonic for years, right? For years. Anything that has to do with anything outside of their little book and their dogma, their doctrine is demonic. Lo and behold, and I'm not saying that there aren't some demonic style aliens because God knows there are. There are bad ones. There are evil intentions, but there's helpful good ones too. Yeah, the symbols are unbelievably obvious. So I think they called them all together, all these religious leaders in the United States together to kind of give them a little rundown. Um, maybe to try and come up with a plan of how we're still going to hold on to control and how do we make that narrative work, right? The thing that we've been saying all these years that isn't true, how do we make that work? Because the higher level beings or higher vibrational beings that actually have some things to offer humanity in the way of avoiding catastrophe and stuff like that and steering us off course from where we're heading right now, which is not in a good place. I think they called them together to try and find ways to weave the story better or make excuses. Um, I don't know if that's gonna work because for years, Spirit told me there would come a time when people would be leaving religion in droves, and while we've seen some of it in the last year and 4, 5 months, um, because of the political scene, I don't think we've seen it at the number of mass migration out of the church. Mother Nature, the great mother. Exactly. I mean, look, the whales are teaching us things. I don't know if you guys follow what happens with the whales. There's been a lot of whale movement, deaths, dolphins, there sharks disappearing from certain regions because there's no food. Like we've overfished, we've sucked more oil out of the ground. We are losing water at astronomical rates, all things that every being on this planet needs, whether you're a tree, a bird, a fish, a plant, a human, right? And we're messing up. So I think that there's um I think whoops, hold on. I think that there's more to come in the way of revelations and a ton of messages. Now, do I believe all of the alien channelers? No, I do not. And as a psychic, it's funny that I'm so skeptical, but I've just watched too much of the BS go on. And I've watched so many of the messages come through, and they're all love and light messages. They're all like, you're doing great. We love you. We support you. But there's no like addressing what's been really happening. So to me, those are distracting messages. They're not helpful. I would rather, and I get reprimanded by spirit a lot and have my whole life. Even the clients I've read for through the years and things that come through from my clients now when I'm working with them in a coaching capacity, there's truth. And it's not always fluffy. It doesn't always feel good, but it always has a higher purpose behind it that helps someone become who they really are and who they're meant to express in this life. So whether that's become a better parent, become a better human being, become more loving, become more heart-centered or open instead of guarded, there's always correction offered when it's needed. So why is it, and so I would love to hear what y'all think about this. Why is it then that all these channelings that come through and just go viral because people want good news and want to feel good and have their pillow fluffed and be patted on the head? Why is it that none of those messages are corrective in nature or provide guidance to avoid the pitfalls that we're actually walking through right now? Why is it that when Bashar was like making his, if you elect the man, you're going to war, we can't tell you more than that. Why can't you? Why can't you? Or didn't you flat out say if you elect that, you are electing more corruption and more lies and more wars, more than you've ever seen? Why didn't you say that when you did your big channeling that everyone's like, oh, Bashar, you're so wise? And all these other Federation of Light channelers. Why have they not provided warnings? Because I've been getting the warnings for years and I've been giving them for years. And a lot of people are like, you need to focus on love, sweetie. I am focused on love. I love my life and everybody else's enough to tell people, "Hey, we're going down the wrong path. We gotta clean it up and speak the truth and not some bullshit that makes everybody feel good." And I just do what I'm told because I know what I'm here for, and I knew this time was coming. I wrote about it in my book in 20 that I released in 21, messages I got back from 1995 telling me exactly what I would be doing at this time. Did I know it was gonna be 2026? No, I knew it was gonna be far into the future, and I had a little understanding of what it meant, but really could not have imagined we were here. And the vision that I had then, the way it's playing out now, I thought that vision was horrifying, but now that we're living through it, I think this is worse than what they showed me then. For the longest time, I thought, I can't see us going through that kind of stuff and people acting like that, tromping on top of each other and me, and only care. But like, I can't see that being that volatile. Mind you, this was in 1995. Things were still cool because they truly don't know a damn thing. That's possible. I mean, but they got big followers, big followers. Little old me, people don't want to hear the truth. And I hold back more than I ever even say. I hold back. I wait until spirit pushes me and says, you got to talk about it now. You got to write about it now. Do you guys think that there's any coincidence of why for all these years I've been focusing on helping people get through their trauma and PTSD? I didn't walk away from that. I want you guys to know that. Why I walked away from really just helping people um get through things in their spiritual journey. Do you know why I pivoted so hard this year over the last couple months and started to talk about what people need to do, how to recognize where you're at and are you prepared to earn your own income, knowing the massive job layoffs. Like, do you guys think that was coincidence or that I sold my soul? I'm a sellout. 'Cause this is spirit directed, but I'm curious to see what you guys think looking from the outside in of why I'm pivoting harder on my focus right now to offer things to people that need to like start to work for themselves or earn money. Like, do you guys think it's weird? Curious what you think. Because there's a message there that I think a lot of people do not recognize as an actual message from spirit. Um, and I want to see if you guys recognize what's happening. Like a lot of people just think I just, do what I do. And everything I do is directed by spirit. As weird as it may sound, I do things when spirit tells me to do it. Sometimes I'm resistant. Sometimes I fight back. This time I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because I've been highly focused on health, helping people with natural health stuff. I've been highly focused on helping people get through their traumas, learn how to create their lives intentionally, learn the charm life path process, be able to manifest things really quickly and in alignment. That has been my focus for so many years. And as we got closer to 2026, Spirit said, get ready. You're going to make a pivot. You're not walking away from those things, but you are going to make a pivot. We need you to do something different. So get prepared. So I've been studying and watching many things, and you guys probably have noticed even my content has changed radically from what I normally put out, right? I've gotten very vocal about the policies and politics happening in the world and how destructive they are to everyday working people. If you're not of the Epstein class or the billionaire class, same class, um, if that's hold on. I got trying to tell Copilot, check, check, check. If you're not of that class, then They're coming for you. They may have started with the brown people in the little ice raids, but then they went after anyone who wasn't of the gender or sexual persuasion they liked, or nuclear family that they like, with the religious background that they like, or women. Like, and now it's like disabled people, poor people, old people. Like, the list keeps growing. It's insane. There's been so many job cuts all the way through 2025 and into 2026. And they are telling you that it's because of AI. It is not because of AI. That is an easy out. Do you guys understand that? That's an easy out. It's AI. No, it's because they want to keep their profits. They are doubling down on AI. Yes, but AI is not at the level they say it is. It is not completely autonomous. If you give it simple tasks, it can carry it out without a human once it's been given those instructions from a human. Anything beyond simple tasks, it can't think for itself at all. But they're telling you they're laying all these people off because AI. It's not AI, it's profit driven, and it's constructed. And if you read Project 2025 before 2025, y'all know the plan was to eliminate accessibility of education, except to the billionaire class, the rich people. Get rid of immigrants. Really, it has nothing to do with immigrants, because the orange one's been married to nothing but immigrants and have children with those immigrants. He himself is what? Second generation American? Shit, my family's been here longer than his in Hawaii. Like, people who listen to spirit are often called crazy, but it feels good to follow spirit. Yeah, times are not normal. Yeah. I could also feel it coming, and people need to do for themselves. Absolutely. Like, any okay. So AI is the scapegoat, Dennis. So when spirit told me I was going to pivot, I didn't last year. I had no idea that it was going to be where I am right now. Over the last couple months, in really focusing on trying to offer things based on the skills that I have as an entrepreneur and the experiences I went through when I lost a job unexpectedly and then just said, F it. I'm done. I'm done with someone else being in charge of my income and my salary, and took a chance and started my own business, and then started another one and another one and then another one after that. And that's the business I'm in now and have been for 26 years. Literally, I know the feeling of shock and fear when everything you thought was secure and stable gets ripped out like a rug underneath you, and you realize I'm in a free fall. What do I do? Right? Because lots of people are in it. Truly, lots of people are in it. I'm trying to find that comment that's showing on the screen. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Oops. No, no. Stop. Stop. No. What is going on? I just want the comment off. Like telling me to block you, Miss Justice for Honors. If you're not Indigenous, you're an immigrant. Oh, well, explain that to the folks that are running things. And you know, it's messed up, historically speaking. The people who founded this country came from Europe, destroyed the lives of the natives here, brought in immigrants from every country to build their railroads, to work on their plantations, to do the jobs they didn't feel like doing. And then when the job was done, they either rounded them up, put them in detention centers or camps, kicked them out. Like, this is our history. This is a repeat cycle, what's happening right now. And most people don't know our history properly because they just conveniently edit it out of school. AI makes tons of mistakes. A human needs to check over the absolutely. And you got to be careful because AI will erase shit too. He is a second generation racist. I love that. Okay. Let me behave myself. So, spirits told me for years that this was coming. In fact, back during COVID, if you remember, and I'm sure you probably do, Justice for Owners, I was telling everyone, like, people are going to be working more remote, right? And that was going to stick. Like, office buildings weren't going to be needed. Companies are going to realize that they can run their operations globally and have employees from wherever they want them. And we literally started to see that move amplified and stick post-COVID. But then when they wanted to get rid of a bunch of people in the last, 2025, end of 2024, it was, okay, you got to return to work. We're going to make policy now. You have to come back to work, come back to the office. They didn't do that because they needed people in the office. They did that because they knew certain people would not come back and they could just cut them. And that was the beginning of the layoffs and the cuts. You're laughing. Now, I was trying to take that comment off the screen and this whole thing came up that said block user from commenting, block user from YouTube. I'm like, what? No, I just want the comment off. I didn't realize it was still on. Anywho, because I can only see part of my screen because I have TikTok on the other side so I can watch those comments. 'Cause TikTok doesn't pull the comments in the way that Facebook and YouTube do on my restream. Anywho, so yeah. But Spirit told me back then too, once this move started to happen, that we were going to go through a contraction period, a compressed period economically, and that we would have the messed up things going on that the corrupt would lead. I mean, thousands of years ago, do you guys know what the Tui Batu is? Have you heard of the Tui Batu? It's an old Chinese prophecy that goes way back. And in the Tui Batu, the prophecy warns that there would come a time, and it's so much like the Hopi prophecies. There would come a time when the leaders of the world would be full on corrupt, that their hearts would be cold, that people would believe in the lies. The Tui Batu spoke of that time period, right? And if you look at like the Hindu cycles, it sort of speaks to that as well. Even though I've read all these prophecies, I've studied all of them for years. Even though you read them and you're like, oh, I could see that happening at some point, you know it's coming because you know these prophecies have all unfolded. Even though I'm a clairvoyant, like I've watched so many things come true with warnings, like even though when you're in it, it's like you can't, there's no words to describe the level of absurdity and shock that we weren't talked out of doing this stuff. Am I the only one that thinks like that? Because I literally have these conversations with people all the time. Like, I can't understand or believe that this is where we are, that we allowed this to happen and go this far. And there's no way to avoid it. I mean, we've had so many warnings, right? So many warnings, so many points where we could have changed the trajectory. And I mean, I've seen this stuff coming since I was in 10th grade. That was like back in 1983 or 2, somewhere around there. It was way back, a long time ago. Um, so yeah. Anywho, now we're here. And there are people that are waiting, have lost their jobs. They got laid off. Maybe they're not looking at the news. Maybe they're afraid to. They're hustling on DoorDash, Uber, or whatever they can string together to pay their bills. A lot of people are doing that right now. While they're applying for the salaried position back in corporate, thinking that we're in the same economy and the same job market that we were in a couple years ago. We are not. And that is not coming back anytime soon. The paradigm shift that we are creating and going through, and it's being kind of forced upon us right now, whether we like it or not, is meant to change the way that we operate on all levels: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Okay. The only way, and I say this all the time, the only way we change. Hey, Wink, thanks for joining. It's good to see you. I hope you're feeling okay. I saw you were in the hospital the other day, and I was like, man, girl's a fighter, cancer warrior, sister. You know, and I've been praying for you. Just so you know, I've been praying for you. I scroll past things really fast because I only have a couple minutes lately to check on anything, but I just want you to know my heart is with you and my prayers are with you. And you're constantly, every morning, every night, when I say my prayers, you're in them. And then if I come across one of your posts, instantaneously send him positive vibes and prayers. Anywho, um, I'm going through a mini version of that local corruption. That's why I stand up for justice. I feel that way. How even now, I know. So it's crazy. Anywho, the people that are waiting for normal jobs to return, oh, you're welcome. It's not, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. I'm telling you, Spirit's been telling me this for years. This is why the pivot I've made into putting together the income archetype blueprint or quiz, the income generator blueprint that tells you what skills you have, what things you can do, what you have to offer the marketplace to make your own income that nobody can take from you. That's where this came from. The income architecture foundations is my learnings over the last over 30 years because I was a business development director, my last job in corporate when I left corporate way back in the 90s. But since then, I've had to take all of my learning from back then and apply it to shifting and learning into how do I market things in the digital economy, right? As the internet started to shift and change and social media came along. So most people that don't start something or start something without knowing how to set a business up properly so that you're protected with your taxes, so that legally you're protected, so that you know what you should offer and how to offer it so people don't just look at you and go, that's interesting, and walk away. Like how to speak to buyers about what you offer, how to solve their problems, whether it's through a product or a service, how to package that product and service or knowledge, how to price it, which is the big issue. I have a calculator that I created just for that in the Income Foundations course, the Architecture Foundations course. Um, how to reach out, how to find your audience, how to build a brand, and that doesn't mean logo, name, and colors. Brand is different than what most people think it is, and Almost everybody gets it wrong until they learn, and that usually takes them several years, or they try to hire someone. I put all of that together, all of it into 12 modules with over 60 lessons, and they're short lessons, but the work is there. Like I teach, and then you have an exercise, bunch of exercises, so that by the end of it, you have a legal business structure, you are set up for success, you understand what you can offer, how to offer it, how to package it, how to get it into the marketplace, how to deal with sales, how to track all those things all in one place. And it's not thousands of dollars, although it could be. I literally priced it affordably. The blueprint's only $147. That thing is worth way more than that. The architecture foundations, how to start a business properly and do all the things I just talked about, that's at $597. I have paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn all of this stuff. Well over tens of thousands. Like anyone who's taken a business coaching course, Justice for Owners, you know what I'm talking about because you and I were in one of those. That's where we met, right? How many years ago? How many years ago was that? Becky's class, her little, I don't remember what it's called now. It was such a nightmare and it was such a ripoff. That was years ago. God bless. When was that? Like 2015, 2016? This had to have been around that time, if not before. People need to be creative. There are always opportunities. And that's the thing that I've been trying to say to people. And a lot of people don't really get what I'm saying when I say being laid off, losing your job for whatever reason. Yes, it's shocking, but once you get beyond the shock, it's you need to see the opportunities that are sitting in front of you. We've just all gotten very comfortable and programmed to believe that industry and corporations are our answer. And I'm not saying independent business is for everyone. Being an entrepreneur takes work, takes hustle. But you did the hustle for other people, so why wouldn't you put more energy than that into your own thing that someone can't take from you? When I figured all that out, when I was in my 20s and I was like, "You know what? I've built these people's businesses and made them millions of dollars." Millions of dollars. And what did they give me? But 60 to 80-hour work weeks, calls in the middle of the night as a single mom. They didn't give me jack compared to what I sold my soul back then for. So Spirit told me to start teaching everybody and giving you the wisdom and knowledge. I'll always offer this stuff as long as it's needed. I won't always talk about these things, but like this is what's needed right now. People are freaking out, and I hate to see people waiting around only to get crickets in to their job applications, right? 2014 Clarity Clients and Cash. Is that what it was called? It was something like that. Something like that. Yeah, Clarity Clients Cash. It was something like that. And it was such bullshit. And it wasn't usable. It was stuff she learned from other people. This is stuff that I've not only learned, but I've improved upon and then some. And most of the stuff that I'm teaching is my original stuff that I learned way back in the day, marketing and sales, right? So I'm just telling y'all, like, I know it's scary to lose your income and think, what the am I going to do now? This is a golden opportunity. And I'm not saying like people should go chasing the freaking gold rush of AI and selling courses on how to be proficient in AI because even that is limited and it's flooded right now. I'm not saying you shouldn't use AI. It's a tool, but understand it's a tool. It's just a tool. It doesn't replace your thinking. It does not replace your creativity. It can do the automated bullshit tasks like sort through your email and give you a report. It can do research and give you a report. There are certain services that I literally just set. You guys want to see what I just set up? Like so that it's all in one place. I will show you if you want to see it. If you do not care, I will not. But I literally spent a couple of days building a system that I can easily access and all my stuff's in one place so that I don't have all these AI different things I do with AI scattered about to and fro. I created an entire system and made it so that it's super easy to get my daily tasks done and hand over the things that I don't wanna deal with, but also keeps me on track, gives me daily reports. Hold on, I gotta see which one this is. What's today? Oh, it would be this one. And it updates itself and everything. And I work with Claude, um, Cowork. I use Claude Cowork because I can and because it's better. Today's the today's the 8th, right? Crazy. It's crazy. I built my own agency. I'll show you guys. Let me see if I can make this screen share happen. And see if you guys probably can't see it on the TikTok because it's too big, but I can probably make it slightly smaller. Can you see that? Um, I built this entire flow. And literally, like, it shows the funnel that I just built out, right? And then breaks it all down so that I know when I'm writing things what everything is. I have my research apps. It tells me which ones to run, and then I just click a button to run it, and it goes off in my Claude Cowork. Um, and then it has a whole flow there. Once it gives me all the research and pulls it from many different places, I have it do an analysis and score the topics that it comes up with and then send it to me. And then I approve it, I flag it, or I change it. And then it goes through a 17-step production. My whole my whole how I put stuff out, and then there's a second approval gate. I get a ding that says you need to approve these things, and then AI goes out and the stuff that I want it to create, it gets it done on Canva. And then I just go in and pull those things down. It checks my Google Calendar, it checks my emails, it gives me reports on all of this stuff. I even have an auto video pipeline that I made using Remotion, and then this is my executive assistant, tells me what I have on my plate and what I should be doing. And then I have a board where it's just quick prompts, just so that I can just click it and go. I literally probably am way more organized that now than I've ever been because of AI, but I truly understand what AI should be used for. It's just a tool. It's an amazing tool. When you use it right, it's an amazing tool, but it cannot replace people, right? And that's the thing that people need to know. Like, I'm really good at creating systems and systems architecture and creating processes. You can make 500 plus in a week if you built the right business. You can make 500 plus in a day if you make the right business. 600 or less for complete business packages. Not for all those things, not for your marketing, your sales, your offer construction, your content, knowing how to use the tools, knowing how to build your business structure. Like 597 ain't shit. Like, Justice for Owners, it's usually thousands of dollars for one of those modules. For 5 lessons, what they call 5 modules, I have 12 modules, 5 lessons in each module, so that you know damn well what you're doing. And by the end of it, you have a 90-day roadmap with action steps of what to do next, what to do next, what to do next, right? So, um, and I'm gonna tell Andy I'm on live right now. A lot more efficient than my spiral notebooks. And that was the thing, like, I have the first thing I did on Monday was, like, I sent cowork into my Google folder and said, "You need to organize everything," and then I sent it into my Dropbox, and I'm like, "Do it again?" And then when I was working on this project, like, "You know what? I'm trying to do content and keep up with blog writing and video content and Instagram freaking image posts and research and all these things." Part of that system I set up a week or 2 ago on my research end so that it was doing all my research for me. But then I was realizing, like, these things would end up in a folder that I never looked at because I didn't have time. So I was like, "I need you to help me create an executive assistant and one place where everything is, so I don't have to keep clicking around in my gazillion folders," because I have 2 12 terabyte backup drives connected to my big computer. Then I have Dropbox, which is insane. Then I have a Google Drive, which holds other things, and then OneDrive, I'm finally migrating everything off of OneDrive and just storing it all on my hard drives, away from OneDrive. But y you build for as long as I have on a computer, right? And I have always carried every time I buy a new computer, I just copy the disk and bring everything over, and it just after 30 years, it come or 26 years, it becomes really a big mess. So, when I was cleaning all of that up with AI's help, with Cowork's help, I decided, "You know what? If you can do this so easily while I'm working on other shit, you should be able to do all of my stuff if I just push a button." And so I designed the system and I built it, and it's so nice. So nice. And this is the kind of thing that small businesses should be using. Literally, I've got to add my accounting stuff to it, like keeping up with my books and when things need to go up, but I actually already have that stuff in my calendar. But now it literally goes into my calendar and tells me what appointments are coming up. I get an alarm. I get a reminder. Something pops up on my screen that says, "Hey, you have an appointment in 15 minutes." And every morning I know. And it goes through all of my emails now. Thank God, because I hate that task. 3 times a day it goes through my emails when my computer starts, 4 hours later, and 4 hours later before I stop for the day. And it sorts it into needs a reply, junk mail, newsletters, sales promotions, right? It does all of that for me so that I'm not having to read through a bunch of bullshit because my email box gets full constantly. And I have 4 different emails for different things. Like my business has an email, I have a personal email, I have a junk email, and then now I have one that brings all of it together so that AI can actually go through and sort things out for me so that I don't lose track of anything because I've been missing certain emails and not following up with it. Claude Cowork, yeah. Yeah, I just use Claude Cowork. I mean, I use Claude Code occasionally, but I don't really need to use Claude Code. You can do a lot in Cowork. You don't necessarily need Claude Code, and it's Claude Cowork, you have to have it on your desktop. And then I have everything like, it doesn't auto go into things. I make it so that it asks me for approval before it accesses things in my browser. And then there's different connectors, like Gmail, you can connect anything Google to your Claude in what's called an MCP connector, which just makes it super easy. My research app, that's through a connector. The only thing that I don't have set up right now is auto auto posting thing because I have a service that I have for life that's free, and I don't really wanna pay $29 for that extra thing, but I use Claude on my phone. I use it on my phone too, and you can do a lot on your phone through chat as long as you're making projects. right? And then access those things on a laptop or desktop. But when you take Claude Cowork and put it on your computer, which is separate than the browser, now you can create what's called MD files, markdown files, which becomes the memory pieces of Claude. And you put those MD files in a structure where Claude can access it all the time, and you're not having to constantly refresh. One of the worst things when I was building my astrology software last year, I was working with like 3 different AIs to help me code it properly and bug fix things, and it was so frustrating because it was like every couple hours, it was like hiring a brand new employee, and I'd have to reorient the freaking employee, and it was such a waste of time. And now with the usage compression on AI, you gotta be careful how much you're going back and forth, right? And I work at a very fast pace, but that's where Cowork actually solves the problem because you have these markdown files, you put them in different projects, and Claude knows where to look for it. Cowork knows where to look for it, and it saves certain things, and different projects have different what's called context files. So, say I build a whole bunch of emails, or like I was making HTML code for my website for my income blueprint because I didn't want it to just look normal. I was like, I just want it in code blocks where the questions are right there on the screen. I was like, write these out for me. This is what I want it to look like. Here's how you need to format your CSS, and here's the colors and all the stuff because I always do my own websites. That's what I was doing way back in the 90s. So I've kept up on those skills. So I told Codework, and I was like, "I need 60 code blocks." And in a matter of 15 minutes, it had all 60 code blocks done. I have the max plan. I'm a big user, like, but I only have the $100 plan. I don't have the $200 plan. I did do the $200 plan last month when they all of a sudden floored usage. And then I realized I didn't need 200, so I do 100. $20 a month is not enough for the kind of stuff I do, because I do have it. So here's something I do on Claude. You know how like I make um, podcasts that are long, right? I make videos that are long. I have coaching sessions that are long. You can pay for a service like Opus, where you put the video in and it chops it up into little bits that you can repurpose your content onto shorts and reels. I don't like paying for that. Like every $30 after you have 10 products, that's $300. So I was like, there's got to be a way that Cowork can do this. And I stay really up to date in the Claude communities about what's open source and free. Claude Cowork you can set it up so it can use an open source video suite called Remotion, and a service called Whisper where it can transcribe your video for free, and it will chop your video up for free, and then it downloads all that chopped up stuff, and I can tell it I want to go from landscape to 9 by 16 or 13 or whatever it is, TikTok style, literally. And then, you guys don't need to worry about tapping. I can do all that automatically, and I'm doing it for free. And literally, I just have one button because of the agency OS I created for myself. I literally have an executive assistant. I have a research sales marketing researcher. I have a content creator. I have a copyright checker. Everything goes through massive amounts of checks. Good night, Mr. Jeff. And I set it all up. I do pay for certain services, but I am not willing to pay for a lot of these video services because F that, right? And then I can take those videos and put my own captions on. It will do it for me. I don't like the way they look. I like just taking the videos and uploading them to TikTok, adding the captions there, and it's all good. Need to figure it out. Yeah, you know, I am because I multitask so much, I don't mind how and I have 2 screens, like, I have a screen right there, I have my big screen here, plus I have my, I have my laptop in here too. So when I'm cruising, I may be working on 3 different things at one time, but cowork's working on 1 or 2, then I'm working focused, and then I got my laptop doing other things. I've been using it for about a month. It's so much better than ChatGPT. Anyone that's still on ChatGPT, I'm telling you, they've dumbed that thing down. It has gotten so bad. And I moved over after I heard that Anthropic said no to Palantir about using their AI to decide who gets to die and who gets to live. And I'm like, okay, you just earned my business, especially when Sam Altman said, oh, we'll do it at OpenAI. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. And I canceled my account and moved over. I thought, I don't know about Claude. But if you have been using ChatGPT, some of you may not know this. You can export your chats, put them into, import them into Claude and say, hey, take all of these chats I just brought over, split them into projects, and give me recommendations of what you need to have context so that we're not starting from scratch. And that's how I moved my stuff over. And it's been amazing. And I just set up the same project files that I was using on ChatGPT months ago. Yeah, like I don't like losing context. I don't like all the months and months of work that I worked on ChatGPT maybe a year, but then I started to go over to Quen and DeepSeek, which were free Chinese models. Those were giving me certain research stuff is way better than ChatGPT. But then I started to realize how screwed up all of it was and just moved over to Claude, and I love Claude. Claude can do so much. They have a design element now too, um, and that whole thing is off the rails. Good, but you burn through tokens. I'm really careful about how much usage. I'm really on top of it because I don't wanna burn through it, but so far I've been staying month to month within my usage, and I think I've been on Claude for 3 months now, 2.5, 3 months. I'm really good with tech, so I pick up on stuff pretty fast. Yeah, it's worth it. Wink, it's like, seriously, it is so worth it. And I still use the chat version on my phone of Claude when I'm reasoning something through or thinking something through, or I just need basic research about one specific thing while cowork's doing something else. I can literally be on the browser with Claude or my phone, and Claude coworks at work. And I turn my computer off, like, I don't run any of my routines or tasks daily automated. They're all manual. That's why I built out that whole, um, operating system, that whole system map of how I run things because I wanna just be able to push a button. I don't want it doing stuff when I'm asleep, and I don't know how people trust that. I've heard people burn through thousands of dollars because their Claude code, like, was it Clawbot or something? Claude whatever it was that everybody was into about 2 months ago, had access to their wallets and stuff. I'm like, "No, no, I don't even feel safe you having access to my emails if I'm not around. Like, you need to run everything through me." So, yeah. And then my other recommendation, anyone who's using any kind of AI, make sure your privacy settings is do not share my information to improve the AI model. Keep it private because otherwise you're opening yourself up. I'm not saying that they can't still sneak whatever the hell they want from what we're giving them and working on with them, but if they don't have your permission and it's found out later that they stole your IP, your intellectual property, then yeah. I've got another thing that I will tell you guys. If you are building things and you're selling them, that has anything to do with AI, you can embed things within your documents and because I've done it. I've been doing it. You can embed things in your documents or anything that someone would copy and paste maybe to steal and rebrand it under their stuff, your own IP copyright into that so that when an AI sees it and the person didn't see it, they'll call it out as a copyright violation. Now, I'm not saying that that will block them from stealing necessarily, but it certainly is gonna help. Oh, yeah, I embed all my stuff. Years ago, back in 2013, 2014, I had someone up in Denver steal my entire program, my Charm Life program, and try to sell it as their own, and karma's a bitch because they went out of business, but I know people are there doing that stuff. It's just the way it is. So I embed my IP copyright into everything. And I've got so much documentation of when I created something, when I edited something, because I save every edit version copy in a folder on my backup drives. That's why I have 24 terabytes of backup. Because if I ever need to sue somebody for stealing from me, I can easily produce evidence of when it was first created and all of the iterations. It is the dirty stuff, of business, but unfortunately, people do crappy things and people are lazy. They're lazy. I like to create stuff. I just think it's stupid that people think it's okay to steal, you know? Use your brain. You got something to offer. Use your own damn knowledge base. Don't try to take mine and sell it as yours. That's a cheesy ass way to go, you know? But I've made it so that it's really difficult. If people try to pass it off and change it, that copyright's on everything. Every PDF I make, every MD file I make, every Word document I make has that copyright and IP warning. Like this has been sold for personal use. If it's reproduced or blah, 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 like it's embedded. And some of it you can't see, but I know it's there and AI will pick it up. So I'm smart when it comes to stuff like that because I don't like being ripped off. Um, and if it happens, I always have my guardian angels watching out for me. I'm like, you shouldn't mess with me because my angels always let me know when somebody's up to no good and they'll lead me right to them. Karma's a bitch. But yeah. Anywho, seriously think about it, people. Where are you right now? Where do you need to go? And if you just need to make side money, like you may want to check out the income blueprint. It's $147. I'm not kidding. It is worth a lot more. Like it's 12 parts. It takes some time, like some hours to complete, but it is based on the work I take my private clients through when they're making a career transition, when they're changing industries, when they're pivoting. And I work with quite a few people right now who are going through having to either leave the government, leave a corporate job, or they got laid off. I have a lot of people like that are trying to figure out what am I going to do next? How do I even sell that? Because when you've worked for a company or an agency or certain industry, your brain gets locked into the role, the job, the task that you're used to. And then when you lose that salary or you're afraid you're going to lose it, so you're starting to look at options, you're already in that survival mode mentality, which shuts the ability to see the skills you have and recognize like what you can offer to the world, right? Yeah, the system's horrible. Like it's so much better to work on your own. Sad when they steal physical things, try to pass it off as their. It really is. It's so bad. Anywho, so I made it as accessible as I could, like $147. It's well worth it. I've got people who've already beta tested the blueprint, got ideas, and already started building based on the recommendations that the blueprint provided. Um, it's in deep, and I've iterated it 3 times, overhauled it 3 times through the beta testing to make sure that it's like having me in your pocket. And when I charge what I charge an hour, most people can't afford me. But I wanted to be of service during this time and make it as affordable as that's why foundations is only 597 and not $6,000 or $10,000. And I've paid all up until last year $10,000 for a small portion of what I offer in the entire picture. So the blueprint tells you what you can offer, who your ideal audience is at the end of it, right? Gives you recommendations. Then you take those recommendations and foundations tells you how to turn that into an offer that sells and converts, who your audience really is and how to speak to them, like through your content, through your writing, how to set up a brand properly. And it is, like I said, it's not your name, your colors, your logo, your font. That is part of the making of a brand, but that is not what makes a brand. And I've been doing this marketing thing and branding and all that stuff since the 90s. So I know what I'm talking about. And then the business structure, the tools, the resources, how to set up based on your budget in a way that you can start making money right away. Like that's what that course will do for you. And when you do both of them, a lot of the work that we like get really deep and specific on in foundations, the base layer of that work you end up getting out in your blueprint. So I tell people like you should do both. Like don't come into foundations because you're gonna end up hearing me say, "Hey, blueprint people, look in your section. Section 11 transfers to section 3 of foundations. Copy and paste that over, right, into your document. Because by the time you have a foundation document, what's called the foundation file, you have your brand, you have your offer, whether it's services, products, doesn't matter. And I give examples of all of it through all the teachings. You have your sales conversation, you have a dialed in audience profile based not just on demographics, but psychographics. Why are they buying? What are their triggers to buying? What do they think they're buying? What do you think you're selling? And there's usually a huge gap between what you think you're selling and what someone's actually buying and why they're buying it. And I teach you the difference. And that's stuff that comes with learning through experience. Most of the coaches out there or digital products out there don't actually get deep enough into it to where it's usable information unless you're spending 6 months to a year just learning that. I've made it as simple as possible with the process that you actually can go through step by step by step and work it through. And gave multiple examples from bakers to seamstresses to consultants to plumbers to drivers. It doesn't matter what you want to put out there. I explain all the different ways that you can present it properly, and you walk out and you've got a business and a 90-day roadmap of how to make that thing go, and you can make money as you're going through the program. It doesn't take that. Like literally, you could blow through the whole program if you were intense like me in a week, but you're talking several hours. There's a lot of work. Like putting things together and really thinking them through. But you could make money immediately. It depends on how much you need to make, how quickly. And the blueprint will tell you like the fastest path to cash. And then I go into all of that in the foundation too. Like what's your fastest path to cash? What's the longest sustainable income that you can create? And like break it down because there are several different what I call forms of currency. Sometimes it's trade and barter because you've got skills you can use right now, but you haven't put together an offer, but you need to go to the dentist. The dentist needs something that you can offer. Trade right now because that's money that you're not putting out of your pocket. That is a form of currency. Most people don't think like that. But I've done them all and I've seen them all throughout the years. So I teach all the different layers and levels. And It's invaluable to know and learn in the environment we're in right now, and I'm gonna say this before I go. Always think about starting local first. I wouldn't have said that 10 years ago. We were not in the boat that we are in right now 10 years ago with water shortages and the cost of power and the cost of fuel. To build locally and create a community locally and a business around you locally first, and then take it out, or in parallel, but really not ignoring your local networks and your local community building, you're going to be in a far better position if then the power goes out. If then things get messed up and they turn our internet off. And before people say to me, that would never happen here, go look at what's happened in the rest of the world when there's been political uprisings. They just shut that puppy down. And if your internet is down and you ran your business solely online and no one knew you outside of the worldwide interwebs, you're back to square one. Don't put yourself in that position and read between the lines, because I'm warning you, we will see those times that they're already removing free speech, right? It is a means of control, but they're already trying to tell us what we can and can't talk about. They're already trying to remove free speech, like, if you say anti-fascist, if you are anti-fascist, you're a terrorist. Like, excuse me? Excuse me, that used to be called patriotic. What is happening? So, I'm just saying, like, in the time that we're in right now, those are my recommendations, is think local, but then expand global. And you can do it in parallel, but you cannot exclude your local. And for many years, we didn't have to worry about building businesses locally. We had the World Wide Web. We had social media. We could sell, and my company and the people that I work with are in fact global. I've worked in over 26 countries for the last 26 years. I think it's like 28, 29 countries. It's a lot of countries. I have clients all over the world. But it does no good if the power goes out or the internet goes down, right? At all. And we're going to see between what's going on in Europe, and they're having gas shortage crisis in different parts of the world and parts of Asia, and then what's going on here in the wonderful United States. Like, we got to pay attention to this stuff. If you got a market outside of your local area, good, fine. But don't limit yourself to just the internet. You got to be able to do stuff locally too, because there will come a time in the next 2 years where we're going to have to really be connected to our communities locally. Just saying. Like I said, read between the lines. That is why Spirit pivoted me from hyper focusing and doing what I've always done, and what I'm really good at, and I really love doing it. I still do it. I'm just not talking about that stuff. My Charm Life program's still up. My Hidden Wisdom monthly membership, it's still running. My private sessions are still going. I have a waiting list, but I still have them. Creating this was all orchestrated by Spirit. They're like, you're going to take all of your wisdom, all of your knowledge, you're going to package it in a way that is accessible. How are you going to do that? And I was like, let me think about that for a minute. it took me a bit to be able to create the process and the system map in my head, and then get it on paper, and then start working through, how am I going to pull this off and where does it start? You know, because I'm not known as a business coach. Yeah, I help people with business all the time. I have a lot of clients who are coaches and entrepreneurs and consultants, but they've all worked on personal levels with me. And then if they do need business help, we just get that done too. And I'm a high performance coach. Teaching this aspect, I haven't necessarily focused on, So I was like, there's enough of those people out there that teaching this. Unfortunately, a lot of those people are still charging up the butt and not making it accessible to people who actually need it right now. And we got more people unemployed than there are jobs. And unfortunately, that gap is going to widen, not get smaller. Just less jobs, more unemployed, more layoffs coming. It bums me out, but then my thought is, all right, sovereign income, let's get her done. Teach the people how to be in business for themselves. It's not as hard as you think. It really isn't. And find what you love doing, not just what you can tolerate, and it doesn't feel like work. Like what I do for 26 years has not felt like a job. Yeah, I get tired some days, but I love what I do, whether it's health or it's mental health and emotions, or it's the spiritual side, or it's doing stuff like this, like creating stuff like that. I love what I do. It doesn't feel like drudgery. I can pop up in the morning and it's no big deal. I can stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning if I'm working on a project. It's no big deal. I can take texts from a client who's in dire straits. It doesn't hurt me in any way, shape, or form. But when my boss was calling me or whatever at 1 o'clock in the morning, that was like, are you freaking kidding me? Because there's no reward there. It was all selfish and about profit and about this and that. Like I didn't get compensated for that shit. You didn't pay me enough to be dealing with your drama and your narcissistic midnight rants. But I put up with it while I was there. Not anymore. And I hope everyone that sees what's happening from healthcare to education to insurance to technology to the government to the energy sector, they're just cutting job after job after job and more on the way. And I'm not saying that to scare you. Go read the news. Go read the real job reports, the financial market forecasts for the next 6 to 12 months, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I've been tracking these patterns for the last year. Couple years, I knew it was coming, and it's here. So let's do something about it, right? Let's do something about it. Be your own boss. Make your own money. Don't let someone tell you the limit at which you can earn. When you work for yourself, that's one thing that I learned very fast. Oh, shit. My income is just based upon how much I'm willing to put out and work and charge. It's not capped, and I don't work like my focus has not been by the hour. I don't think like that anymore. When you work for a salary, you're like, "Oh, well, if I get, 10,000 a month, how much is that a week? Is that worth it?" Like, I decide what I want, what I need, and I go make that. And it's amazing when you have recurring money, income, and revenue that continues to come in as you continue to provide things. It's nice when you have what's called evergreen things that just continue and to help people, but it doesn't take you showing up every single day. I've only got so many hours in a day to work with private clients. Like I said, I pretty much have a waiting list for health and for one-on-one private sessions. So to be able to do this stuff and put it out there and help hundreds, hopefully thousands of people get independent income is going to make me so happy. But Spirit told me to do it. And whenever Spirit has said do something, it usually goes like gangbusters because it's what is needed at the time. And who knows what we'll need in 2028. For right now, this is what apparently everybody needs. So I'm made it. The first two parts are already released. The first 3 modules of the foundation course are complete. I have to update the last 2 modules in 3 lessons in module 3 of foundations. All of the income blueprints done. That is available fully. Foundations is available to start. And then the quiz is out there. That's completely free. Take the income archetype quiz, super accurate. tells you if you have what it takes currently to be in business for yourself. And it doesn't mean that there's ever bad news, but it will give you next steps and kind of an understanding of if you do wanna earn income on your own, what you need to think about, what you need to shift, how you need to look at things. So that's always the starting place, and that's completely free, and it's fun. It's, in my bio, links in the bio, so go check it out. Um, Other than that, happy Friday. I got busyness all weekend. I got my granddaughter's spring ballet recital tomorrow, and then I'm back to work on finishing all these edits and recordings and la 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 for foundations. I want to get that done by next week so that I can move on to a few other projects that are awaiting me and yeah. After I get done with all of this, I'm actually going to do some tutorial videos on how to set up stuff, and I may just teach a master class how to build exactly what I built, that agency OS that I showed you guys, how to build it and set it up and how to explain it to like AI so that it can help you do just that. Like set that up and become what I call my battle board. Literally, this is my daily battle board. This is where everything is. These are all the things, like all of my services, programs, and offers are all on that OS. Literally, the description for it. So if I were to say I was to get cancer again or I was to get sick, I could literally just push a button and say, I want to make some content about this and send out an email to my people and write a blog. And now I just push a button and it goes through all of the 17 steps of creating it. And I tweak it, I fix it, and it knows my voice. I've uploaded my book that I authored. I've uploaded several different things that I've written, and throughout the years, I've uploaded videos so that it can train on the way I think, the way I talk, the way I reason. I give it certain bullet points and just say, these are the things I want to cover, organize it into content, and it spits it out. So if something happens to me, I can still easily work. And after having cancer and having my life like disrupted out of the blue, to have a system like this just gives me a little bit more peace of mind when I need to take downtime. Like it's okay, you can do it because you got like 3 employees for $100 a month working for you, and it works. So I want to teach other people how to do it. Spirit speaks to you at 2 a.m. Spirit's been waking me up a lot the last few nights since the full moon. Like, I've had a hard time because I just wanna sleep. Like, I've been working a lot. I just wanna sleep. So, if y like, a lot of people have been telling me their sleep's been disrupted in the last week, and I do think part of that is just the heartbeat of the planet shifting, changing, and kinda oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, this short hair in April 2024, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma, diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, put in the hospital because I was super sick, and I had a tumor the size of a full-grown baby fetus on one side of my abdomen. If you go back and, I don't know if it's on this I had another TikTok, but my YouTube, like, you can see all my videos, I think, from back then. I was bald as a baby's butt up until I think my hair started to get peach fuzz January, February of '25. This is how long it is from being completely bald, like bald, shiny ass bald. And I've cut it, like I cut my bangs, but like and I had to cut the mullety part of this 'cause the top of your hair I never knew this. The top I've always had long hair. The top of your hair grows faster or slower than the bottom of your hair. So you when you're growing it out from, like, what I had kind of a pixie as it was all coming in, it started to look like a flippin' mullet. So I've had to get my hair cut a few times, but now it's getting close enough where she said once it reached this point, don't cut it, let it go, and it will come through the weird phase. You know that part? Yeah. It's I got my eyebrows back. You know what I never got back, Wink? I because I had pull a arch up. I had how many treatments? 8 treatments of pull a arch up, which is horrific level of chemo. I I lost all of my underarm hair, my leg hair, my arm hair. For the most part, I still don't really have arm hair. I don't have leg hairs. Every now and then I'll get a random leg hair, but my underarm hair never came back either, which just saved me a lot on shaving and razors. My eyebrows came back, which I'm grateful for. And at 59, my hair is still black. I have a few more grays that looks like coming in, but it came in curly. And then about 6 months ago, it started to all of a sudden like straighten out. So when it got to here, the curls started like that's where it stopped. Like then everything that came in above it started to go straight. My hair's normally straight. So it's been weird. I've had like 3 different textures of hair. So I just want it long. I'm used to long hair. You're like a hairless cat. Same. Yeah. You've been on Paxil. Tax yeah. I have a friend of mine who just finished, God, she did Red Devil, she had breast cancer. She did which one? She did like 3 different chemo runs, different types of chemo. I didn't even know they had that many for breast cancer. But I mean, hell, before I did chemo, I didn't know they had so many different types of chemo either. And they told me like pull R chop. I'm like, what's the difference? And they're like, sometimes we just do R chop. And I'm like, "Eh, I have no idea what that means or why. But yeah, the prednisone, the P part was the shittiest part. They say chemo changes the hair follicles. It will change back though. Um, So, like, even though my hair was curly, like, if you look at my earlier videos, my hair was short and kinda in a pixie, but you could tell it was curly. Like, I just put curly mousse in and just let it freeze in place because there's nothing I could do. I couldn't straighten it. It would just go frizzy. So I literally just went with it until it finally started to come in straight again, and that took months. I mean, it was probably close to 7 or 8 months of hair growth, almost probably 9 months before it started to come in straight. I lived with the curls and I thought it's never gonna go back to normal, but it did finally go back to normal. Now I'm just waiting for it to continue to grow. So, yeah. And it's good, with all the supplements that I've been playing with and finally got on the right combination 2 months ago, my brain is almost back to normal, like, almost full capacity. So I've been able to produce all kinds of stuff lately that I have not been able to think about doing the last couple of years. My brain was just since 22, my brain was not working the way that I'm used to it working. This is the first time since 2022 that I actually feel like I'm coming back. I'm back on track because I knew I was sick in 22, but I didn't want to deal with it then, and I was like, "Nah, this can't be cancer. Nah." Then waited it through 2023, and then it got worse, and the tumor got bigger, and then I ended up hospitalized in 24 because it was weighing down on my kidney. So, and I'm clear. I'm in the clear now. Told my oncologist I can't come in because I had to cancel my insurance because they want too much freaking money. And I'm actually not feeling any kind of concern about it because I do feel good. My body feels good. And apparently I have lots of work to do to help other people right now. So, but I wish you the very best, Miss Swing. Like, do not envy you. Been there, done that. And it sucks when you're going through it. And it sucks when you're coming out of it. And it all of a sudden then you start to feel like, okay, I'm on the other side, you know? I'm gonna be okay. So I feel you. You're amazing. Cause honestly, I don't think if if people didn't know you, I don't know if they know you actually have cancer, right? I don't know if they'd know because you just come across so damn grateful and real and not what like a lot of people, because even it was that way when I was in the clinic too. Like the nurses were like, "You're always so positive. I mean, you're tired, you're skinny as shit, but you're not like we see a lot of patients in here." And I'm like, why? Like it is what it is. Let's just get it done because I want out of here. I want my life back. Right. A lot of people, they let it take them down. And I have not seen that from you. You're an amazing, amazing warrior. So many blessings to you and all of you that are listening. Thanks for hanging out. I hope I taught you something tonight about what's possible. I hope you heard and read between the lines about what spirit really is speaking to everybody right now. Do not depend on the man. The man broke the contract that said if you work for the same company and you get big benefits and yada, 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 he'll be taken care of in your retirement. No, that wasn't true. They lied. They lied. Hey, reach out anytime, Wink. So just saying, y'all, time to get independent. We need to do it with our food. We need to do it with our energy. Like I put in solar in March for a reason. And I wasn't planning on doing that. Spirit woke me up one day and said, "We want you to research solar, a battery backup system." I put it together. It took a couple weeks. I ordered it and then we got it installed. And now it is tied into my sub panel in my garage so I can just flip switches and go from the grid right onto my solar. And I do it every day. Like we're flipping every day. Right now we have to because we have clouds and we're not getting any charge from the solar panels. But in Texas, normally we have nothing but freaking sun and heat. Anywho, so yeah, there's a reason I'm doing what I'm doing, and it isn't just because I think I should. It's because Spirit's telling me step by step, do this, do that, get ready for this, stocking up on food, same thing, stock up on essentials before the prices go up, same thing. Like, and I've been sharing with you guys bit by bit on my videos what I've been told to do. Not because I want to just tell you what I'm doing, because I'm hoping you guys are picking up the signals that I'm laying down. Like, there's no reason to have to spend 4 or 5 times for the same things that we can get at what they cost right now, which is still super inflated. Everything's super inflated, just saying, right? All right. I will see you guys later sometime next week. I will not be around for the next few days. I'm not going to be making content. I'm not going to be coming live. I'm taking the weekend to hang with my family, support my granddaughter, and to work. So, all right, you guys have a great night. Thanks for tapping, Wink. Thanks for all the support, all of you. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend.